So I'm Jonathan Moore. I'm the manager of desktop support for facilities management, and our idea was a mobile device management solution, along with a few other pieces to manage the 350 iPhones that our staff carry around with them on a regular basis. We implemented this software because what we were discovering was that every time we went to replace somebody's phone, whether they broke it or lost it or needed an upgrade on it, it was taking us 45 minutes to get the phone set up, get the person's email and everything plugged in there. And with that many phones, it was just way too much time, given that people were losing phones and breaking phones. We were doing it almost constantly. We were issuing out new phones. So we were looking for a way to streamline the process. And so MDM is a software application. Once the phone turns on, it automatically connects to our server. All the configuration is done automatically through the server. And it's ready to go. It's an IBM solution called MAS 360. It's a hosted thing. There are a couple different MDM solutions out there, but this IBM's MAS seemed like the most user-friendly and powerful. For us, it was really important to have it hosted just because of the rate at which technology changes. Like the iPhone 7 came out, within 2 days, IBM was ready to support it and all the new features it had. Whereas if we had that in-house, we would never have been able to keep up with all the latest devices coming out. There were some other advantages to doing an MDM solution. We increased security on our phones because nowadays phones are just miniature computers. We also can locate the phones. There's a tracking app, so if somebody loses their phone, we can actually see where it is on the GPS. We can lock the phone if it's stolen, lost or stolen. We can make it so that it's just basically a brick and there's a notice on there saying, if you find this phone, please return it to facilities management. We also, when we switched to iPhones, one of our concerns was going to be that the iPhone requires everybody to have an Apple ID traditionally. But through MDM and an Apple program called the Volume Purchasing Program, VPP, we were able to bypass that. And now the phones don't require any sort of Apple ID, so we don't have to track that. If we purchase apps, we can assign them to a phone, not to a person. So if the person leaves, we can actually get that app back and not have to go buy it for another person. And that was the piece of the puzzle that really appealed to the police department when we were talking to them. They have iPhones in the cars, and they wanted to make sure the phone was assigned to the car, not to a person. And so when they found out that through our solution we were able to eliminate the Apple IDs, they were interested in coming on board of our solution. And so they've brought on some of their phones into our MDM solution. We've been using it in a testing mode for about 2 years. Back in November was when we issued out made the switch over to the iPhones, and all 350 of the new iPhones went out. So we've been doing it since about November. We used to have all of my staff would deal with phones on a regular basis. Now we're down to one person doing it. So it's actually just really freed up. I can't say exactly how much time it is, but it really has freed up a lot of my staff to work on other projects that are more important than doing the same phone setup over and over and over again. Right now it's just facilities management on CU Boulder and, like I said, PD. Who reports to the same vice chancellor, so we brought them on board. I am told that we are the first group to ever implement a MDM solution, a mobile device management solution, on any campus. We are kind of expanding out to more of our mobile devices. We have iPads out there for our work management solution, and wherever the police department wants to go with it, they're very eager to bring it up. We went with Sprint mobility as a service as well, so we don't even own the phones. We lease them to Sprint, and Sprint then took on the responsibility of deploying and replacing them under an R&R schedule. So we get new phones every year. So all of that pieces together into one cell phone management solution. Probably take a trip out to California. I've got some friends out there I like to try to visit, but cash has been tight a little bit these last few years, so if I got some extra cash, I might fly out to wine country and go touring some vineyards.